about nutrition. So, what is nutrition? It's what you eat, right? Kinda? Alright, well, we're going to kind of talk more about food. What are some of your favorite foods? Pineapple? Apples? Strawberries? Apples. You guys are pretty healthy. Bananas? Steak. Spaghetti. I like that one too. Well, foods that we eat actually have three components in them. They have carbohydrates, protein, and fat. So those are the three main components. So when eaten, some foods are made into sugar. And when this happens, it gives our bodies energy. So that's what keeps us going all day. So I'm going to be talking about that component, and that component is carbohydrates. So when you eat carbohydrates, it turns into sugar and it gives your body energy. So carbohydrates is a pretty big word, right? So we're going to break it down. The first part of the word is what? Car. So if we think about a car, sorry guys, this is the first time we've done this one. Our bodies are like cars because they need fuel, right? So when we eat carbohydrates, it gives our body that fuel. So that second part of the word is a little bit bigger of a word. We're going to cover up some of that. What is that? Hydrate. What does hydrate mean? Do you know? You lost it? That's all right.
We need to have water to be hydrated.
Very good. So you can think like a fire hydrant or water. And really, our bodies are made up of over 60% water. So when we eat carbohydrates, they supply energy, like our car, and hydration, a little bit of hydration to the body. So we're going to talk specifically about what are carbohydrate foods. Does anyone know what carbohydrates are? I'm going to have you each take one of these and pass them down. So carbohydrates can be anything like grains, fruits, fruit juices, milk, yogurts, and those sweets that we like to eat, cakes, cookies, pies, all that good stuff. So how do you think carbohydrates, what kind of effect do they have on your blood sugar? What do you think? Could be. If you don't get enough carbohydrates, your blood sugars could go low. But generally, carbohydrates are what increase your blood sugar, give you that energy. So if we eat too many carbohydrates, our blood sugars will go high. Where if we don't have enough, they're going to stay low. So I have a couple examples here. I'll pass these around too. Sorry guys. So if you think about the blood in there, the red stuff, it's pretty thick and moves around. But if you have too many of those little white dots, that's the sugar, you can see how it's going to get thicker.
Is that actually blood?
No, that is not actually blood.
What is it?
It's just food coloring and water.
Juice.
So let's pass them around, and when they get to the middle, I want you to take a look at the two tubes and see if you notice a difference in the tubes. All right, you two are it. Take a look and compare those two tubes. Turn them upside down. You see how that one goes really fast and that one goes really slow? So when you get too many carbohydrates and you get too much sugar in your blood, it really thickens up and it makes everything move a little slower.
Is that bad? Like a blood clot? What is that?
Not a blood clot. That's a good question. That is a great question.
Is it anything that goes slow better?
It's actually worse. When this happens, you can have trouble, and you can think of pins and needles in your fingers and toes. It can make your fingers and toes a little more sensitive, a little more tingly. So what does this mean for people who have diabetes? It means that you have to really take a look at the carbohydrates that you're eating in your food. And you have to really track this. If you have too much sugar, your station, but your insulin. I know that's a really exciting.
You'll get to
group
do that
over there.
one
You'll get
next.
to do that next, I promise. So if you don't have enough insulin to get rid of that sugar in your blood, that's when it can turn to diabetes. So we're going to talk a little bit about how do you count the carbohydrates in your food. And the best way to do so is with a nutrition label. Do you guys all recognize these? So I'm going to give a couple of these out. We're going to talk about these just a little bit. So a nutrition label is really how we tell how much carbohydrates are in a food. What we're going to focus on really today is the serving size. Okay? I'm going to have the two individuals with cereal tell me what the serving size is on your box.
That's the way tall. Size
1 cup. Okay, how about you guys over there? What's the serving size for those Tasty-O's? Otherwise known as Cheerios. 1 cup as well. Okay, I think we're going to go ahead and open this one. How about you guys? What's spaghetti? 2 ounces dry.
And we found our carbohydrates.
Carbohydrates are on there. Yep, 41 grams. I'm going to have you pour out what you would like to eat for breakfast. How much would you eat? Go ahead. You're going to pour yourself a bowl of cereal. How much would you have? That looks about right. Now, an actual portion size, and I don't have a real cup, is about a cup, which is about a handful, maybe a little bigger. That's actually 1 serving. So how many servings do you think you had here?
About 2.
About 2? Probably, maybe even 2.5. So a good rule of thumb for a portion size for you guys is to look at your hand. And the size of your hand is about 1 serving. So it's not very big, is it, guys?
No.
And if you go much over, then you're going to start getting into more servings. So that's how individuals with diabetes really count their carbohydrates, is by servings. And really looking at the label and digging into that serving size. Another great tool is the My Plate, and you guys can all take this home with you. If you look at the plate, you can really see half the plate is fruits and vegetables. And I know you guys like fruits and vegetables because those are your favorite foods, right? So then the other half is grains, and it's important to always focus on whole grains. So when you see spaghetti, and then our friend down there, what does your spaghetti say? Whole wheat. Or anytime you see whole grain on the package, that's what you really want to focus for your grains. The other thing is your dairy. And your dairy, what's your favorite beverage? What do you like to drink? Talk about that.
I like to drink Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid? That's pretty common in kids, I think. What do you like to drink? Gatorade?
Milk.
No. Very good. Water?
Milk. Chocolate.
Very good.
Still milk.
Very good. Do you guys see anywhere on here for Pop, Kool-Aid, Gatorade? But there is some protein. And if we had a little cup up here, it would say dairy, because it's really good to get skim or reduced fat milk. So try to switch out those sugary drinks like juice and pop with water whenever you can. So it's important to enjoy your food, but we need to be aware of the portions, and we need to try to eat just what our bodies need for us to eat, and not over and above. So can some of you name carbohydrate foods, first of all, that would raise your blood sugar? Remember what we said? Cookies, very good. McDonald's might do it a little bit too. Ice cream. Yep. That's okay. Is it a candy bar?
Yeah,
Like
but
a-
they're not very popular.
Oh,
Like they're from like 50s, 60s.
nice, nice.
No.
Milk. Milk would actually raise your blood sugar, but it's good because it would have some protein with it to help pull it along. So remember, protein's on our thing here too. Is there any questions for us? All right, so we're gonna ask you. Yep.
Well, mine's kind of a question, but I eat way more than those two put together.
That's okay.
So does my brother.
So watch your portion size and try. For you, you can probably handle 2 serving sizes. But if we're adding on to like 3 or 4 or 5, then that's when you're gonna get into
I
trouble.
probably eat 3.5.
3.5. You're gonna learn about activity over there. Stay active.
I do.
Awesome.
My brother in the morning once, he said he ate like 3 to 4 bowls.
Of cereal.
Yes, he doesn't eat a lot because he's a picky boy. So cereal is the only good food he likes, really. So
What kind of cereal does he eat?
he eats Captain Crunch, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
So what do you think Captain Crunch and Cinnamon Toast Crunch are going to have? What kind of effect on your blood sugar? Higher or lower than Cheerios?
Higher.
Very good.
I could also have kind of an example, like
Yep.
like these are bigger. Would it affect like you took a handful with how big those are? Would that affect the serving? Because let's say you had cherries and you took.
You act like Cheerios. A cup, you're gonna feel like you're getting more, but a cup's a cup. So think about when you're in the kitchen and you have your measuring spoons. You can always measure out a cup. That's kind of fun to actually see what exactly it looks like.
When you like sit on your foot and then it runs out of the blood flow, does it kind of slow the blood flow down?
Yep. And so that's what individuals with diabetes, they have that feeling a lot without having to sit on their foot.
I don't like sugary cereal. Is that a good thing?
That's a lot.
I don't like. I'm not very picky except when it comes to cereal. I ate Cheerios when I was really little, so the only thing I'll eat now is Cheerios.
What other cereals do you like to eat?
Sometimes I eat cereals like I can't make it like Kix kind of cereals, kind of things. Not the ones with frosting on them. 'Cause
Those
I
are
don't
pretty
know.
low too.
My friend Sophie, she has a really big family, and so they always get like plain Cheerios, and they always put sugar on top, and they are addicted to sugar. I'm not kidding, because they have about probably 20 big packs of root beer in their other.
Wow, that's a lot of root beer.
Yeah.
Like also a type of cereal like it's like
Oh, yeah.
and I blend the walnut chocolate.
Those are better too. So I'm going to ask you guys a couple more questions if you don't mind. What happens to carbohydrates in the body? Do you guys remember off what we talked about? Remember the car? Yeah, provides energy.
And then hydrate is you need to say hydrated.
Yep. And so remember those carbohydrates, they provide energy, but they break down into sugar. So if you get too much sugar, then that's when your blood sugar can rise. So what happens in the sugar, if the sugar in the body cannot be turned into energy? So if you eat too much, what happens? You could. If your body's not producing that insulin, then your blood sugar
Wasn't
could.
it go to the bathroom a lot or something?
That's a sign of diabetes. Good job, you're listening though. Absolutely. Gain weight. Might slow you down, just like it slowed down the blood, right?
We're ready to